Hello, Merry Meet, and happy almost New Year. Today's reading is for a woman named Jazz. And Jazz, you have really been through a lot. You've had some really tough turns in your life lately. And so you ordered this year ahead reading. And the idea is we want to find good things for you to look forward to. We want to find some hope for your future. And yeah, this is an important reading because I feel like my favorite types of readings are readings for people who are going through incredible transitions. Sometimes these transitions are great and ones that we choose, sometimes they're not. Sometimes we just have to roll with the punches. And I feel like that's where you are right now. And yeah, I'm really hoping we find some really good things for you to kind of like look forward to, things that will help you kind of get your bearings again after this incredible transition that you're going through. You know, I can relate to what you have said, not in the same specific circumstances, but as far as like how the transition can impact your health and just your general outlook. When you go through a series of misfortune, anyways, I want to see some good things for you. Now, first of all, let me apologize too. I have a cold. I'm trying to not cough a lot, but this video may be a little bit choppy because I may be editing out some coughing and some sneezing as well. So I've been a little sick. I apologize for that if this video is choppy. Second of all, I wanted to talk about the stones that I chose. Now, I'm just gonna, I don't know, where should we start? We'll start with amethyst, okay? Amethyst is just a great stone for spirituality, okay? It's also very soothing. It's very calming. It's good for anxiety. It's great for sleep, actually. But I did want to bring in like a sense of spirituality because speaking for myself, that has been very, very important in dealing with transitions. So I'm not sure this is my first reading for you. And so I'm kind of hoping that, that resonates for you as well. Second, I chose citron here. And I like citron because citron, to me, just represents the sun, okay? Just burning away any confusion, any negativity, any indecision. It's like the sun just lighting your path, all right? Now here, we've got Astrophyllite, and I actually use this quite a lot in a lot of readings. If you see some of my videos, you'll see that pop up quite a bit because it's good for life path working, okay? It shows you kind of what you should be doing, what it is that you're meant to do in this world. And when you're going through a transition like this, it can be really like just confusing. It shakes you to your core and it makes you wonder, like, what am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? What should I be doing? Okay. Here I've got some labradorite. Let me see if I can show you the fire in that. And labradorite is great for change. It helps to facilitate change that you need. And also, it helps you through transitions that you wouldn't have chosen. Okay? It helps you find your footing. I work with labradorite a lot. Again, having gone through like a lot of transitions, not all positive, it really soothes the way. Okay, so labradorite's going to be a really good one for you, I think. And here I have rutilated quartz. I don't know if you can see the retail needles, but I use rutilated quartz for clarity. Okay, there we go. That's pretty. For finding my path, for finding like, it's good for like linear thinking, clear, path from A to B, and getting rid of any confusion. Okay, so this is going to help clear away, hopefully, all the emotional stuff that has come up for you with this. Not that, it's not important to deal with the emotional stuff, but sometimes you just need to kind of step away from it, step aside and get like a logical, analytical perspective. And then I just chose clear quartz. That's good for everything. It amplifies the energy of the other stones. It amplifies our energy. It's just good for everything. So that's why you see it, in New Age stores everywhere you go. Now, the deck I'm using is the Sacred Circle Tarot. And I'm using that because it is a great deck for reading for other people, okay? This is the deck that I have used most often in doing readings for others, and I just wanted to find a deck that is very expressive, very clear, and would have some really good, solid answers for you. So this is kind of like my go-to deck when I don't need a lot of... It's good for general things, and it's really, really good for others. This deck does not read for me, incidentally. It only reads for others. So, alrighty. Let's start at the beginning, which is January up here, and I'm going to have to walk around to turn it. Alrighty. Wow. We're just starting out with it, aren't we? Now, in January, we've got the Death card. And actually, let me hold that up for you. I'm trying to walk around my little tripod here. And so, usually death doesn't mean death. Usually death is like death of something old and the rebirth of something new, okay? So it can be the death of a friendship, death of a job, death of, any number of things. You yourself have suffered a loss. So this can be just a sign that you're still in this energy, but it's time to kind of like cut it away. You see how she has the scythe here? And it's time to decide what needs to be cut away so that you can rebirth yourself, okay? And yeah, that's actually a really good thing for this time of year too, because one of the things that I do when I'm working with New Year energy is cutting away things from the previous year that I don't want to carry forth. That's like a big theme for me. And yeah, I mean, look at the things from last year, the things that have plagued you, the things that have kept you in a space of confusion or frustration, and let those things go. Carve them out of your life, okay? So, yeah, I mean, that's actually really appropriate for this time of year. Just remember that on the other side of death, there is always a rebirth, okay? Everything, the wheel turns, okay? And so once you carve that out, you're making space for something new, okay? So in February, wow, okay, we have the Hanged Man upside down. Now, the Hanged Man is usually about sacrifice, as we, show here. But it's usually about sacrifice for a spiritual purpose, okay? So this is like giving something up to gain some sort of spiritual insight. So here we have him reversed, though, okay? So this isn't about giving anything up. This is about gaining something, okay? This is about finding what you're due, if you will. And usually, for me, this comes up in a spiritual sense. So this is about you've earned some spiritual time to yourself, some spiritual knowledge. You have knowledge about things that other people just don't because of what you've been through. So you've earned that. And yeah, you can feel secure in that. You can feel, positive in that you've been through everything. Your time of sacrifice is over. Your time of giving things up is over. And now things are coming to you that are due. Okay? So, yeah, normally we've got him upside down. He's hanging, this represents Odin hanging from the tree of knowledge, the tree of life, where he was given the runes, which is your spiritual insight. Here, you have that spiritual insight, okay? And you get to carry that with you through February, all right? Alrighty. In March, let's see. Oh, the Knight of Cups reversed. Okay. Now, the Knight of Cups, I usually see him as following your bliss or really following your heart, okay? And he can be sort of wishy-washy. He kind of goes back and forth. He doesn't really stay in one place for any length of time. He's kind of a romantic. He likes, he's in love with love, but not necessarily willing to do the work of that. But here we've got him reversed, so I feel like this is going to be, you're going to be a lot more grounded than that in March. Okay, you're not going to be wishy-washy. Your feelings are not going to be flowing back and forth. You're going to be really solid in what you know. You're going to be grounded, and You're just not going to be washed around by the tides, if you will. So this is kind of a card of just being solid, of just not kind of chasing, crazy dreams that don't really have any basis in reality. You're more grounded than that. You know more about what you want. And again, you've got that knowledge here of the Hanged Man reversed. So you have a firm basis. And, this could also be someone in your life that is like this, that does kind of just follow whatever emotional attachment they can find, that's going to be driving you crazy, okay? So, because you're just so beyond all that, you're just so past it, okay? So that's going to be a big theme for you in March. Now, in April, we have, the High Priest. Now, reversed, this is kind of interesting. This deck is a little bit different from a traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck, in that a lot of these characters, they're kind of brought to a pagan place. But the High Priest, which is, corresponds to the Magician in a regular deck, he is about manifesting, okay? He is about putting all the elements together and making something, making things happen, okay? But here we have him reversed. So I think this is just telling you just to be calm, okay? Just to, and it may be that you are kind of confused as to what you should be doing. And we've talked a little bit about your career path and, some things that you're thinking about doing. This can be a little bit of confusion as far as that goes. You're not sure exactly what it is you're supposed to be doing. But this is telling you not to worry so much, just to relax, okay? You're still healing, you know what I mean? You've got a lot of emotional stuff to go through. And don't worry so much about, like, I've got to get things started up. I've got to get things moving. I've got to, get going on things. Relax and just let things happen. And this came up in our last reading as well, where you have all these choices, but you need to kind of like follow your heart and not, he's a very logical kind of guy, analytical. He does things in a prescribed way, in a traditional way, a way that he knows. But you kind of have this like awesome unknown ahead of you. That's a good thing, okay? Because it's like a blank slate and you can create anything from there. Just don't try to force it, okay? So in May, we have awesome. Okay, so this is my favorite card. This is what I used to signify myself. And the Queen of Discs, again, she's like very, very grounded, okay? She's seen everything. She's been through everything. She's loving, but she's not like a pushover. She takes care of things. She takes care of, family or friends or whomever. But again, from a place of stability and a place of groundedness. She's not, like the Knight of Wands who's just, going hither and yon, trying to find, some sort of romantic situation. She is stable, okay? She's been through it. She knows what's up. And so you're going to have a lot of this energy. And also this has to do with wealth, with abundance, with, financial success. So if you're not trying to force things, it's going to just come to you, okay? This is very natural for her. She lives in a world where she's grounded, she's stable, and money just kind of comes to her. So yeah, that's going to be like a big focus for you. So in May, look for some financial success, okay? Look for some things to come through. And in all honesty, this could be something that comes to you because of what you've been through, because of all the sacrifice that you made up here, because of this transition here, because you're solid and you're not trying to like force things. It could be that things just come to you. Good financial, like a windfall, or, like a great job or something that you love, where you can kind of be a little bit of a caretaker and use some of your experience with that. So, see, that was May. This is June. Interesting. So, In June, wow. So the King of Discs is usually about balance, finding some sort of balance. He is the one who rules over the element, who makes the rules, who, takes care of things. We've got him reversed here. So what that's telling me is that you have the stability from the Queen. In June, you're going to have to throw away the rules, okay? You're going to have to maintain that. You're going to have to look beyond maintaining wealth or maintaining security. It's going to be time for you to kind of like turn that on its head and see what else you can do. All right. Now, be careful with this card because, he is a very grounded guy. And when he's upside down like this can mean that you're a little bit too flighty. This can mean that you really aren't thinking about stability. You aren't thinking about anything along those lines. But I feel like you will have set yourself up so well here that it's more just a warning. It's more just saying, hey, try to stay on top of your finances, stay on top of the things that keep you grounded, and look at ways that you can kind of, like I said, flip the rules on their head. Try something a little bit different, okay? But just, still with an eye towards your finances. So, now, in July, we have got, interesting, you've got a lot of discs. So there's going to be like a lot of financial things coming up. But here we've got the Three of Discs, and this is like a card of learning. Okay, this is trying something new, learning about it. This is kind of like the card of the student. And the dedication here is like dedication to your studies and dedication to a path that's going to bring you some financial abundance. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. So I feel like with these all here, in May, it may be that you receive like an inheritance or like a financial matter is settled and you're kind of like solid. Here you're thinking about, okay, what can I do that's different? What can I do that's doesn't go along with the rules? What can I do, with wealth that doesn't have anything to do with stability or solid? What can I do that's new? And here you might be going to school. You might be learning something new. You might be trying something new. You might be devoting yourself to learning something that's really going to be great. And actually, it's kind of a great card because, we were looking for some hope, and this is where it really comes in, I think, in July, is when you set your sights on something. Okay, so this one is one that I want you to pay a lot of attention to, okay? Now, in August, we have, interesting, the Six of Cups. So, I'm sorry, I accidentally turned it off and forgot to start it back up again. Had a bit of a coughing fit. So for August, we have the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is about looking to the past, clearly. It's nostalgia. It is about, really, it can be about a few different things. In your case, this wouldn't surprise me because you've suffered some loss. And you're going to be like, looking back at that and thinking about it. It's going to be kind of, it's going to be fresh for you again. However, it can also be something from your past coming to help you, okay? This can be meeting someone that you haven't seen in ages, or this can be, a friend from high school, or various things like that coming forward into your life to help you, okay? So keep an eye out. This can be something from your hometown. Keep an eye out for something from your past that's there to help you. Don't get too stuck in looking at the past, because I think you have so much good to look forward to in the future. I mean, you're still in the midst of dealing with all this, okay? But you have this here to kind of look forward to. Don't let this overwhelm you, okay? Don't continually look at the past, hoping to find some comfort there, because the past is gone, okay? And if you are able to focus here, I think you're going to be much happier. Alrighty. So, I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep up with these months. So this is September. Oh, this is great. September, good things are happening, okay? This is the Empress. She is all about abundance. Okay. She is about love. She's about family. She's about having everything in a feminine sense. So she's just filled with love, filled with abundance. It's about harvest, really. So you're going to harvest, you're going to reap the rewards of all of this other stuff that you've been doing. Okay. Now, it's kind of a good time of year for that too, because we're right in the middle of the harvest season here. And it's actually a good time where, the nights start getting longer and people start getting together. It's less about going out and being in the world like the summer, but more about being with family. Okay, choosing who you want to spend your time with. And just really surrounding yourself with family and good friends and like the people who are solid for you. And you love them and you have a lot to give them. You have a lot to share with them, and this can be, food, this can be meals, this can be just your love and your compassion. But yeah, September is going to be a great month for you. I'm seeing all these things coming to you too. It looks like it's just going to be a solid month where everything kind of comes through the way it should. So now in October, we have, oh, interesting. Yeah, this kind of goes along with the Empress, actually. The Ten of Discs is usually about family wealth. Okay, this is about the things that we have built up, our traditions, clearly, here we've got the word. But it's also about inheritance or a legacy, if you will. This is about things coming to us from our family that have come down to us through generations, okay? This is about kind of reaping the rewards of the generations before you and their hard work. This can also be about things that have made you strong as a person. This can be about, family traits, like, being strong through crazy. And in all honesty, this is a great card because following the lady, the Empress over here, this is perfect because it shows that things are going to be solid again, okay? You're going to get the ground under your feet is going to be solid again. You've got this very firm foundation. And I think this is also part of the hope that we were looking for. It looks like a lot of this is going to be financial for you. A lot of what's coming up in the year is going to be financial starting in May. So, yeah. So you've got a little, in the beginning of the year, you got a little bit of floundering still to do, which, is totally, that's fine. We all go through that where we have to, find our footing again. Here you found your footing. So, now in November, we have, wow. So here we've got the Two of Discs. And with a Two of Discs, that's usually about balance, finding some sort of balance. It can be about juggling things. It can mean you're really busy, okay? This can mean that you are trying to juggle two lives. Perhaps your life as, a student or whatever this beginning signifies here with something else. This can be juggling, the mundane and the spiritual. This can be about juggling your family life and your work life. But you're going to have to make some decisions, okay? You're going to have to decide what's important and really dedicate yourself. Now, again, this is another disc card, so this is financial, okay? This is about abundance and about, really, I feel like this is about your career. So, yeah, you've got all this tradition over here to look towards, but you have to find a way to balance it, okay? You have to find a way to stay on your path and not get distracted by trying to balance two things. So, now in December, we have, okay, Ace of Swords reversed. Now, the Ace of Swords, sometimes, okay, that can be about communication. That can be about communication. It can be about really, intellect that, that we show here. It can be about thinking too much. It can be about overthinking. It's usually about starting some sort of really communication with someone, something brand new. And you're not going to be doing that, okay? This kind of shows me that you're going to be going within. December's a great time to do that, and it's the time that I start doing it, to be honest. Because as the weather gets colder, the nights get longer, you kind of want to go within. Okay, you don't want to communicate. You don't want to be around people. You don't want to have to, a lot of times when I see swords, I think of like cutting through people's bullshit, if you will. You don't want to have to deal with that, okay? You want to be cozy and not have to overthink and not have to guess people's motives. That's awesome. That's like a perfect time of year for that, because you're going to be coming up on the anniversary here of all this transition that's happening in January. So this is going to be a time for you to kind of like go within and reassess everything that you've learned, okay? Just don't try to do too much. Just be kind to yourself, okay? Practice some self-care in December. And this really makes me wonder, because you're kind of in this cycle that you deal with your stuff early in the year. You here's where you're really concerned about finding your stability, finding what's important, what you want to focus on, and then you go back within, and that makes me wonder, like, you said that you did have some health issues. I think that we may have some health issues in common, because I am deeply, deeply affected by the seasons of the cycles in this same way, where, yeah, I deal with like a lot of crazy in January and February. I have some seasonal depression, and then, I'm kind of finding my footing in March and April. In the summer is when I feel good. That's when my body feels okay, and I can do some things, and I can focus until I get to November, December, and that's when I just go within again. So I'm wondering if we actually have like a lot in common as far as health stuff. But here's the thing: if that's true, then it's a cycle that you learn to kind of live with. I am happy to talk to you about this further. I just don't want to give away too much about your situation. But yeah, I feel like we have some common stuff here. So let's look at all the cards. Now, the major cards here are the Death card here in January, Sacrifice or the Hanged Man reversed here, the High Priest here, and the Lady here. Okay, so those are your major influences. January, you're still dealing with transition. I'm sorry, I'm pointing it at out to me, but that's not what it looks like on the camera. So you're still dealing with some major transitions then that you need to work through. The Hanged Man reversed in February, yeah, you're still coming to a place of like, I'm done giving things up. I am done trying to give things up for other people, okay? And you're solid. You have been through everything. You know everything. You are on a solid path where you know what's up for you. So you're not going to be that person who, you're not going to be a martyr, okay? And you shouldn't be, because you have been through enough, okay? Now here, again, we have the High Priest. Don't try to overthink it. Don't try to like make things happen. Don't try to force anything. Just let things flow, okay? And then here in September, the Lady, she's lovely. She's exciting, and I'm excited to see her in your reading. Now, as far as the suits, we've got 2 cups here. And that's kind of interesting to me, because I thought you would have more, because you have gone through so much emotional stuff. But you're more concerned with practicality, which shows up here in the discs. You've got so many disc cards. So, you're still going to be in a space of like, mourning, but you're also going to be really thinking about how to get your feet underneath you and find that solidity and that the financial rewards. And you're going to do great at that. I see really good things there. I find stability, but again, you're going to have to balance it here in November. You're going to have to like juggle things and see where things land. So, yeah, what else? Yeah, now we've got the Knight of Cups here. That could also be a person. I don't think that's a person. I think that's, again, you just finding your stability. We've also got the Queen of Cups here. I think that's you. Sometimes I read these as people, but I see these more as you. Because, yeah, these are just places that you're at in your life right now, or in these months, where here you're just finding your stability, you're becoming grounded. Here you have found that you are grounded, and here you're just trying to like stay on top of that, but also, kind of see what kind of rules you can break and it pays off. So that's it, Jazz. I hope this reading resonates for you. Please let me know what you think. You can reach me at amyravenson@gmail.com. You can also reach me. I'm Amy Ravenson on Facebook or on Etsy, just anywhere. Just look for Amy Ravenson. And that's it. I hope you have an amazing new year. I hope that this gave you a lot to think about and a lot to look forward to. And blessed be. Bye-bye.